So what I had in mind for the video that I wanted to make today, record today, was I wanted to talk to you about the Maga Emperor, the Muskrat King, the Lotus Queen, the elections. I wanted to share some things with you. I wanted to share my perspective on some things. You know, there's a lot going on, a lot of horrible stuff. You know, the Muskrat King is kind of aggressively taking control of the country, really. It's a coup, you know, taking control of the country via technology, via the computers, via, you know, the systems. And there's nobody to stop him. And the reason that there's nobody to stop him is because the Muskrat King owns the Maga Emperor. You know, from my perspective, from a common sense, obvious, intuitive perspective, educated guess, the Muskrat King purchased the Maga Emperor because, you know, and I had mentioned this in a previous video that you would have probably missed. You know, the Muskrat King was losing. He was losing. And even with all the efforts, all the shenanigans, all the things that they normally do, right? You know, the purging of the voter rolls, which played a role too in why, you know, in siphoning off votes that belong to the Lotus Queen. Even with the gerrymandering, even with all this stuff, the Muskrat, the Emperor, the Maga Emperor was so bad, and they had so much information out that despite the shenanigans, despite all the nonsense, the cicada. Okay, so let me explain what I mean when I say the cicada. The cicada. I'm talking about Jill Stein. I'm talking about third party candidates, people that they try to get themselves on so many ballots, in knowing full well that they're not going to get themselves on all 50 ballots. So knowing full well that they're not going to win the election, but what they're going to do is siphon off the votes for the Democrat. Most of the time, it always works, you know, on the side of the Democrat. Always siphon off votes for the Democrats, because the Republican Party, the voters of the Republican Party understand how elections work. They're more educated on how elections work, whereas unfortunately a lot of Democratic voters do not understand how elections work. So the Republicans are just they toe the line. They stick with their party. Sometimes they stick with their party so much that they don't even know. It just has to say R, so they don't even have to think. They just do the, you know, just choose the R and stick with your party. You toe the line.